Ladies and gentlemen, I have a very special guest with me today, none other than Alex Sucala, aka The Flash. We call him The Flash because not only does he usually wear red, a little bit disappointed he's not wearing red today. It's okay, I'll forgive you. But secondly, the man is on a mission to hit 100K a month within just days of joining CMB. He's immediately started to smash it, demoralizing the competition. And I think you've hit what, 11K in the first, you said 24 days?
Yep.
11K. Cash collected, by the way, in the first 24 days, with a lot more projected with those deals and clients that he has signed. Which actually, dude, you know what's funny? I just realized you are now officially, you're a record breaker. You know that? Our original record is 25 days. I feel like you knew that and you wanted to beat it. Is that true?
I did. Yeah.
Oh man, that's so exciting. So originally our record for 0 to 10K a month was Ray. He did it in 31 days. Luca came along, did it in 25 days as a 16-year-old high school student. Basically just didn't sleep for 3 weeks, which is probably not the most healthy thing, but hey, he did it. And that record was set in 2020 in August. And so it took someone a year to beat Ray's record. And Luca's record has stood for over 2 years, and no one's managed to beat it. And I've been waiting, man. I've been waiting for someone to come along and finally beat Luca's record. Alex is the man. However, you do have to maintain that for the next 2 months. We need 3 months in a row of 10K to officially class you 10K a month. I'm not one of those gurus who's, oh, yeah, he made one 10K a month. He's officially a six-figure earner. We got to have some consistency here. But no doubt you're going to manage above 10K for the next couple of months. So, my guy, pumped to have you here. Really keen to unpack your journey, your stories, your lessons, what you've learned along the way. And I really want to make this as valuable as possible for everyone watching as well. So tell me, dude, how did you get started in this whole crazy world of copywriting?
Yeah. And thank you so much for having me on, Sean. I've been really excited to speak to you and been manifesting this moment for a while now. So glad to be here. Thank you for that. How I got here. How did I get here? Let's see. Well, I was working typical slave labor job, working corporate America, hated it, and just decided that I needed to find a way to get myself into a Ferrari. And so one of those ways was making money online digitally. And I'm always been like a little bit of a writer. And so I just started Googling ways to make money with copywriting, ways to land your first client, which I landed on some of your YouTube videos. And I liked you. I liked your humor. Thought that was hilarious. And you're like, hey, I will get you to 2K month clients. Is that it? In 8 weeks? And I was like, I will take you up on that offer, sir. And that's how we landed here.
Right on. Interesting. So it was through YouTube. Is that where you first discovered me?
Yep.
Interesting. More and more people are saying that. Do you remember which video specifically? Just for my own curiosity.
I think it was like your 8 ways to land your first client or something like that, like along those lines.
I don't even have a video like that. That's a good
We
video.
should make a video of that.
Nice. Okay, cool. So before that, you were already learning copywriting though, because you're working, you said a regular 9 to 5 that you didn't like, price. What job was it? What were you doing every day?
I was an SDR. So
Okay.
a sales development representative. I would just call like 50 people a day, write 50 emails a day, pretty much just templated emails. And I was selling business to business software at a company that shall not be named, but yeah, it was just like a startup.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, I didn't really enjoy it. But at least I suppose, would you say that helped contribute to your success somewhat, given your background in sales?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, sales. When I got on the call, I was like more kind of eloquent. I did speech and debate growing up as well. So that kind of helped with just like presence and stuff like that. And yeah, there's a copywriting aspect there to like developing your own emails and stuff like that. But I think it was also more so like the grit. There's a lot of grit that goes into those like grueling jobs where you're just like facing rejection day in and day out. And also, I come from like a professional longboarding background, professional skateboarding background. So there's a lot of grit in that as well. A lot of kind of like professionalism with like time management and stuff like that. So I've always been like used to like remote working, remote learning, grittiness, and just hustling. And once you start doing it for yourself and there's a proven system in place, it's pretty, at least for me, it was pretty easy to just be like, all right, I'm going to grind.
Yeah, 100%. Cool. And I know, so when you're working a 9 to 5, before you discovered me, you were already like learning copywriting through, was it Hustlers University? Is that how you first got into it?
Yes, the real world, like the HU2, pretty much. Yeah, so I was in there I first started with crypto and stocks, and then I got into their copywriting section, blew through that in a few days. I think like I got in there like on the 12th. And then I was like, I'm still like missing like some finesse here. I'm still missing like some closing scripts and some templates and some frameworks. And that's why I was on YouTube. That's where I found you.
Gotcha. Interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, so basically you had the prerequisite skills that you needed before you joined CMB in terms of like bit of sales background, bit of copywriting background. You weren't completely new to the game, but you were like, there's definitely some missing pieces here around the client getting side of things that aren't really covered in these programs, or I can't really find this information. I know there's definitely a secret sauce here that I need to get people to actually want to work with me. Where do I reach out to them? How do I talk to them, etc.
Exactly.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. And then you joined us. I have to pull up the date. Do you remember the date?
I have it on my board. That 115 was when I joined, January 15th. And then
Like
February 1st, I landed my first. Yeah. February 1st, I landed my first client, and February 9th, I landed my next one.
So within a month, like within 3 weeks. Actually,
Yeah.
3 weeks. Yeah. That's mental. Really cool. Dude, what was your attitude like going into the program? Because it's no surprise that you have had better and faster results than most others in the program. So I'm just curious to hear, what was your mindset going in? Were you like, dude, I'm gonna fucking smash this record or die trying? Or yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I've had a lot of other people say that. Oh, dude, I'm gonna be the record breaker. I'm gonna be the record breaker. I've heard it. It's like a broken record at this point. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, you say that, but you actually did it. So
Yeah.
yeah, tell us like a little bit about your mentality going into the program, because there's so many people, they join coaching programs and stuff like that, and they're pretty gun-ho and excited about it at the start, but the enthusiasm kind of wanes off, and then it's like some of them get great results, the ones who are consistent and disciplined, and others just fizzle out after a little while. And
Yeah.
what was not as much with CMP, but with other programs? What was your like mentality coming into this?
It was one of kind of just like anger, right? So before I like really just started this journey, I had just gone through something pretty traumatic. Like I like pretty much just lost someone who's really close to my life. I was alone in New York. I didn't really have any friends. And I was just like, okay, the only way I'm really going to get out of this is if I just start making some money and start making like a name for myself and start just like really developing my skills and developing myself. And so I had joined the real world, and I was just like, no, all this stuff happened to me, but who cares? And I'm going to be the biggest success this place has ever seen. And I just made that promise to everyone. I also got interviewed by them. They want to interview me again. And then when I joined your program, I said the same exact thing to you. You know, as soon as I joined, you can check in our message history. I was like, I'm going to be the biggest success you've ever seen. And I don't even think you responded. And I was just like, whatever. And I know he's probably heard that before. It's all good. I'm going to show him. And so like, I've just been waiting for this interview. But for me, it was just, I just get rich or die trying, pretty much. I'm so tired of living in an apartment. So tired of living in New York. I'm so tired of just, I want the life. I want nice relationships. I want nice cars. I want nice things. And I know that I have to first destroy whatever old part of myself that wasn't worthy of those things. And then I have to become someone who's extremely valuable to the market. And I knew that you had some more information that I could have. And so despite having no money in my bank account, I was literally negative in my bank account, $1,400 when I signed my first client. I was like, forget that. I'm going to just go all in, and I'm going to hustle and die trying. That's all it was. It was just like the only option is success. I even got fired January 25th from my day job. And I was like, I got to make this work now. But I was already going hard.
Work, sending DMs and stuff. Or like...
Yeah, I would literally just get my work done in 4 hours. And then out of nowhere, like they just fired the whole sales team, just typical standard layoffs around this time of the year. I was like, all right, time to send him even more.
Yeah, it's happened to me before as well, actually. I was working at a cafe, but yeah, I can relate. Dude, yeah, it's funny looking back. We had to put you on a super extended payment plan because you weren't able to even afford like the basic like 3-month payment plan. So I remember we had to like
failed really, a lot of those payments too.
I think we put you on the longest payment plan we've like ever done for anyone. That's funny. Looking back.
Yeah, you're like, if I can make this payment work for you. And like, I thought it was gonna be like even lower, and I thought it was gonna be like a monthly, and it was weekly, and like I didn't plan for it, and then my bank account went negative, and I was just like, I think I failed like 3 of your payments before I actually like made it in. So
that's it, man. It's the fire that's lit under your chair. And I've been in the same circumstance as well, joining coaching programs, and it's part of that is what really holds you accountable and pushes you to take action. Shit, dude, I know the next payment's going to come out in 7 days. Like I got to make something happen in that time, and I think that's part of what actually helps you push you towards success. And so it's part of the reason that we do it. And because I've had that happen to me and it works. So yeah, no, that's really cool, dude. Would you say, have you always had that mindset since a very young age, like of this massive ambition and drive, or was it only sparked from what had happened with your job?
Yeah, it was, I grew up with a sense of that I'm going to be something big. Like I always had big ambitious plans, but for one reason or another, I was like in some kind of victim mind state. And then when I stumbled into pretty much just the self-development era, I came upon a realization that like I had to start taking a lot more personal responsibility if I wanted like those big things. Like I've always loved all these big things. And yeah, I think it wasn't necessarily the job. It was more so just like I had moved out to New York from California. I had left my whole family behind for essentially this like girl. And it just ended up being like a really bad relationship for me. And like I had to leave her like in a like really just like bad way. Like the cops had to be involved. And then I was just like out here alone, like no car. I have a snow shovel. I'd like snow shovel myself for like money sometimes. And just so like that was when it's just like really like Tony Robbins says, change happens when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of changing. So I was just like, forget it. Like, I'm just going to just devote myself just every single day, day in, day out. I don't care if like people think I'm crazy, if people think I'm going to burn out, like I will rest when I get tired. Yesterday, I put in a 41-hour workday and I'm just willing to like, and that's, I know that's a paradox, 41-hour workday. I legit was up from 7 a.m. till midnight the next day, just working, grinding. I set up so much stuff. It was crazy.
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, basically it was like hitting rock bottom for you that essentially lit that fire under you that was like, dude, holy shit. Is this really all that life is cracked up to be? Like I'm destined for so much more. And really that was like, all right, fuck this. I'm gonna show the world like
exactly
what Alex is really capable
of. That. Yeah.
Gangsta. Yeah. But yeah, dude, that's really cool. That's really cool. I love it. Yeah, man. So joining us inside of CMB, how did you go about applying the modules to land your first few clients? Let's get a little bit more tactical here because I think we've covered the mindset side pretty well. In terms of which strategies did you use, which niche did you choose? What did your path kind of look like?
Yeah, for me, I just really just followed your advice super well. Like you were like in the beginning, you're like, listen, like if you're gonna be successful, you have to like, no surprise, listen to me in the modules and apply things like as I do them. And I was like, okay, sir, yes, sir. And so I was like, as soon as like you said to do something, I would just stop, do it, and do it well and do it thoroughly. And I noticed a lot of people just don't do that. A lot of people just don't like really apply the things. And then on top of that, I was like perspicacious. Like I would do things and I would see if there's like smarter ways to do things and better ways to do things. Like I utilized AI for a lot of my free value research, and I utilized AI for a lot of my niche research that you told us to do. And then I kind of also just used my brain and was just like, okay, like what niches are making really good money? Where are like some untapped places of these niches? Like, how can I be lazy about this and also still make money?
I call it working smart.
Yeah, working smart and working hard will get you really far.
That's very true. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, your mentality was basically, this guy knows what the fuck he's talking about. Obviously, he's worked with 500 copywriters before. We have 53 six-figure success stories, 2 7-figure success stories, about to be 3. And it's like, why reinvent the wheel when this guy's already spent 5 years figuring it out? But then your thing from there was like, okay, we have these strategies, they're proven they work. I'll go implement those, while at the same time keeping my eyes open to see if there are possibly better, faster, more efficient ways of doing this for my particular niche and service.
Exactly. And I think that's what gets you really far just in business and in life in general, is being open-minded. You got to be open-minded. You'd be like, okay, this method is great. Let's see if we can improve it even more. Let's see if I can just take this and just add on a little extra sauce. And so that's what I did. And it's like what I just continue to do. Like I'm just a very open-minded person. I'm just always willing to like try something new, like just swing for the fences. If 1 of 10 of those ends up making it, you can go really big. And that's just what I did.
Yeah, killer. What niche did you end up choosing? And then what strategy did you take towards getting clients in that space? Did you bounce around a lot, like trying to hone in on one niche? Were you trying a bunch of different niches, or did you just pick something and just go?
You're going to be mad at me for this answer, Sean.
Okay.
All right. So I originally, good thing we're not in person. So I originally was like, okay, I'm gonna do business coaches. So I did pick business coaches, and I did pick doing newsletters and blogs for 6-figure business coaches trying to get to 7 figures. That's what my Instagram bio states today. However, I met with them and they're like, oh, we need website redesign, we need messaging rewritten on our landing page, we need emails, we need to get our emails off the unsubscriber list. And both clients ended up being like this. And actually, my second client ended up just being, I had originally reached out to like a fitness person just as a test, like to see if like Streak was working. And that ended up being my second client because I followed up with them like 3 times. And so I have 2 completely different clients in 2 completely different niches. And one is the fitness one is the 8K one with a 5% revenue share. And the other one is the 3K one with a 2K reoccurring.
Yeah.
So I ended up just doing a little bit of everything for both of them.
Yeah, to be honest, there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with writing for multiple niches in the beginning, because I think it gives you a wide variety of experience. And you get to learn a lot of different new skills quickly because you offer one primary service and then they're like, can you do this and this? You're like, of course I can. And then you got to figure it out. And that's how you learn really quickly. I wouldn't take on something that something like a sales page, for example, if you've never written one before, if you have no idea, that's a bit of a stretch. But for other stuff, can you design it? Maybe can you write my website or do my SEO or blogs or something? If you can already do email copy, it's not really much of a stretch for those sort of things. So you can figure it out as you go. Yeah. What I am against is branding yourself as being, I can do this and this for you. That's a different thing. So the distinction there that I want to make is you want to brand yourself as basically being, I do this for these people, because you're going to attract those specific people by repelling everyone else. There's just too much noise in the marketplace for you to be out here. Yeah, I do everything for everyone, right? Yeah, exactly. Unless you have a massive brand and a massive following. Sure, Gary Vee or Grant Cardone can say that, but we cannot say that because too much harm. Yeah. But however, once you get into a one-on-one interaction, you're on the call with them, and then they say, oh, by the way, can you do this and this? That's when you could be like, yeah, you can do that. You can take that stuff on. It's just you don't want to brand yourself as a jack of all trades, because then you get paid like a jack instead of the brain surgeon, who's super targeted, super specific, and they get paid most compared to a regular GP. Mixing my analogies, but you get it. Yeah, that's cool, man. So you're like, how did those clients come about? How did you get into contact with them? How did that whole process happen?
Yeah, so one of them happened with the Facebook method, like researching Facebook pages, 5 to 500K, those types of people. I ended up just getting their email, reaching out to them as email, hey, compliments, free value, use it if you want, would love to meet. If not, cool, keep up the great work. And then another one, I essentially found a new method of reaching out to people, and I'll just drop it here, some knowledge for everyone. It's called ICP, ICF, International Coaching Federation.com. There's hundreds of thousands of coaches, licensed coaches on there. A lot of them don't have socials. A lot of them don't have websites. A lot of them just have LinkedIn's, but they get paid a grip, and a lot of them really suck at marketing. And so they have their email, their phone on there, everything like that. You can search by demographics, by how much money they make, by what kind of coach they are. They're all licensed professionals, and you can just milk emails off there all day long.
Yeah, that's killer. I haven't heard of many people using that. So I've heard of the ICF before, but in terms of just searching it as a database to get clients, it's pretty smart.
ChatGPT told me to.
My guy. I love it. So was your strategy, were you like, ChatGPT, I want coaches, with to find them? And it was like,
exactly.
There you go.
Yeah. I was like, ChatGPT, what coaches make the most money? And it was like business coaches, fitness coaches. Yeah. I'm like, okay, what are 20 different types of business coaches? And then I was like, where do I find them? And I was like, okay. And then I just went to the first one. And there's still 4 more I didn't tap into. Like, you just got to think a little smart.
100%. Yeah, dude, it blows my mind, man, when people ask me, I don't want to put anyone on blast here, but when I get asked just dumb questions, like, what time is the call in UK time or something like that? And I'm like, nothing pisses me off more than being asked questions that you can quite literally Google in 5 seconds. And it's like, I'm going to literally take your question, put it into Google, and then reply to your email, taking time out of both of our days to give you the answer. I think more people just need to learn to be resourceful. And especially with new tools like ChatGPT and all that, it's an incredible tool. And I think it's underutilized by so many people. I've started to use it extensively when I have these kind of questions. And I was, as you suggested, literally using it to build an app that could scrape people's social media from a list of email. And that turned out to be a dead end road. That was just, the Python script couldn't make it happen. But basically, it was a really good learning experience in kind of just being resourceful. And it's like, I'm not a coder, but ChatGPT knows code. And so let's just work with it and figure it out.
Yeah, it was one of those 10 bats that you tried to go up for, and now you just got to look for the next one.
That's it. The payoff's massive. So I'm going to keep trying everything. So it's okay.
I'm sure you'll get it.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be juicy. when when I when I get this system down, dude, I
Let's
can't wait.
go.
I'm gonna share it with everyone in resistance. Like this strategy is gonna make me probably half a mil. It's gonna be ridiculous in terms of just to give everyone an overview so they know what we're talking about. Basically, the system is sending out 19,000 personalized Loom videos using AI that aren't really personalized, but basically just stays between us and then everyone watching. Basically, AI does all the heavy lifting. The only missing piece is that I need to get the social medias of everyone from my email list because I have 19,000 emails. And once I can do that, put it in the follow-up, put it in Lem list, automatically gets sent out with follow-ups. It's going to be gangbusters. And I'm working on a second thing as well, which is even better. And that is basically it's using Zapier and the AI video tool to basically send an automated Loom video to every new follower that I get on Instagram. So I know a guy already doing this on Twitter. Think about this. Every new Twitter follower he gets, they get within 5-10 minutes of following him, they get a personalized video sent to them with their Twitter profile in the background. And it's like a generic pitch or whatever. And this guy literally doesn't even lift a finger or push a button. The whole thing's completely automated, like using Zapier basically to get a new follower, send it to the software, makes a video, send it to ManyChat, sends it in the Twitter DMs. So I'm working on trying to do the same thing for Instagram. It's just that Zapier doesn't have Instagram follower as a trigger. So I have to find an alternative software. But it's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts, especially with the new IG shout out campaign that I'm about to launch. Because if I'm getting thousands of new followers every day or every week, and they're all getting personalized videos, dude, it's going to be game over. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So it's cool, dude. It gets so much fun once you start to learn about these different softwares. And then you think this wasn't some strategy that I learned from some coach or whatever. It was just like quite literally me just sitting down, just thinking and just putting bits and pieces that I had lying around, putting them all together, overall sort of master system, which is it's going to crush. Very exciting. But being resourceful, number one skill you can possibly have as an entrepreneur, as a human being. Right.
Yeah, you're just getting paid to solve problems. And if you can't solve problems, like you're not going to get paid the big money. The bigger problems, the bigger the money.
That's all entrepreneurs do.
Yeah.
It's quite literally what we do day in, day out. 100%. Gangster. Okay, so bringing us back to ICF, we were talking about when you're getting the coaches to email. So you basically went on there, ChatGPT was like, hey, check these guys out. And you're like, yes, sir. So you jump on there. Are you just cold emailing all these people using like the scripts that we teach?
Yeah, exactly. I'm cold emailing the same thing I was cold emailing on Facebook, and I just put them into the spreadsheet, get them into the CRM, send out little batches of 5 at a time, and just take it from there. I've used the same email script, it's scalable. You just have to put some work up front for the free value. Obviously, the compliment has to be great. The free value has to be great. And you have to not come across as a boring salesperson, and then you're all good.
Yeah, 100%. So your call emails were basically, I suppose, loosely following our like swipe emails that we have in the members area. So all it comes down to really is a combination of attention grabbing, somewhat entertaining, interesting cold email, right? Which strokes the ego a little bit. Maybe you crack a joke or two. It's lighthearted. It's fun. And then the other key component is just a really killer offer as well. So your offer was basically like, I'll write you a free, what was your offer exactly? Like I'll write you a couple of free sample emails.
No, I actually rewrote in the email. So like in the email, I was like, I attached either a Google Drive link or I like just put it in there. I was like, hey, like your about us section right here, I rewrote it as this. And I would include like a small paragraph. And then I would say, this is a little bit better and will convert better because reason 1, reason 2. Let me know what you think. And I did the same thing in like the document link with just like same thing. Like I would do the before, the after, and the why. And then I would do all that using AI.
Yeah. This is the secret sauce that I love is you basically not only using ChatGPT for ideas, but it's like you're literal just like slave locked in your basement. You're like, all right, buddy, you know what's up now. So now that I have all these coaches, your thing was basically like, I want you to rewrite their about page. I want you to rewrite their email and then make it better and tell me why it's better.
Yeah.
And that's all you typed in, right?
Yep. I joke around with people and I'm just like, I'm not even a copywriter. I don't even do anything. They're going to pay me to do their website rewrite. And I'm just going to put it into ChatGPT and be like, improve this and tell me why. And then I'm going to add on a little human flavor to it, make sure it's actually better, and then just send it out. And it's like using their messaging, it's using their knowledge, it's using their keywords, it's using everything they're talking about and just making it better. And I don't know if I should drop that knowledge on everyone because I might just start charging for that in the future. But yeah, your followers get it because I appreciate you.
A real one. Yeah, no, that's really good. And it's, I think a lot of people are fearing the introduction of AI, ChatGPT, and all these tools, which I think in 2 to 5 years may be very well justified when we're able to literally type in, write me a 50,000 page ebook, and then write me a sales funnel and Facebook ads to sell it, and then go launch the ads. And you can have a book up in 10 minutes and be a published author. That's a pretty scary place we're going to get to. But
yeah,
before then, I think for the time being, at least 2023, I think it's a tremendous tool that really can save us. It can shave our work hours down to half or a third, a fifth, a tenth in your case, right? If you effectively just need to have, you still need to have the foundational knowledge, marketing, sales, copywriting to basically tell, is this output actually better? And then you can tweak it accordingly. But the idea generation side of things, coming up with new ideas from scratch, that's the most time consuming part by far. And if you can just get it to do all the heavy lifting for you, it's like, imagine someone's, instead of doing bench press, someone else is doing the bench press and you're just the spotter. And they just need a little bit of help with that last rep. And you just come in there with the pinky and you're like, whoop, you're done. Like, that's it. The outcome's still the same. The weight gets lifted. You're just not the one lifting it. I like that analogy. That's good. So
great.
Yeah. Yeah, you've been really smart about it. So that's really cool. That's really cool. And yeah, your offer was, what was your like specific call to action in these emails?
Oh, I just said
your About Us page.
I just rewrote. Yeah, I just rewrote it, and then I was just like, if you want to use this, go ahead. Let me know how it works, and if you're up for a brainstorming call, let's do it. Otherwise, keep up the great work. Very like low friction call to action. Let's just brainstorm about this.
Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't like a formal offer or anything. It wasn't like, hey, I can get you 50 more sales calls booked in the next 12 days guaranteed, or don't pay anything. Jump on a call if you want to learn. Because those can work. If you do have a good irresistible offer, that can definitely grab people's attention. But the other way of doing it is just being like super chill and personal. But anything in the middle just doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So you have to
and like, you might try that out in the
future. This is my offer. I'm offering you this, and I'm super open and clear about it, and it's a really good offer. Or you can just be like, here's a ton of value. Do whatever you want with it. Let me know if you want to talk further about it. Other than that, have a great day. Peace. When you try to do this middle ground, where it's like, oh, I'm half sliding in there with an offer, I'm half salesy, half not, that's what most people do. It's like, what, 90% of people, they live in this midsection here.
And it's repulsive. You just don't want to read it. You're like halfway through this. Like my email, you read through it and you're like, oh, that was chill. I liked that. I enjoyed that. He seems like a nice guy, which I am a nice guy. So it was just like my style. But like, maybe I'll put an offer in there later that's irresistible. I think the only thing I really mentioned was before the free value, I was just like, I rewrote this to get better conversion. And I think that's like the only thing I said. I mentioned that gets better conversion. And I said why it gets better conversion rates. So I just showed them that I know what I'm doing and I know that it works. And then both of them on the call said, hey, we get hundreds of emails every day. Or we get tons of marketing agencies reach out to us. We don't even like marketing agencies. Like, we think they suck. And like, they all just say they can help us, but like, we don't really think they can. And most of them have not. But you're the only person that's actually reached out to us and been like, hey, this is how I will help you. This is why it'll help. So we thought a call made sense. I was like, okay, cool.
100%. Yeah. How many like cold emails would you say you have to send out before landing that first client?
100.
About 100.
Yeah.
Were you manually sending all of these out? So that's 100 emails where you went to ChatGPT, you rewrote something, you put it back, say, hey, I did this for you, and they sent it.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah. And on average, like the time investment for each of those emails to go and rewrite the thing and then put it back and send them, a somewhat personalized email. Like how much time would you say each of those emails took?
Anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, that's fast. Yeah. So you're pumping out like 10 of these an hour or even more.
Yeah. I think the most I did was maybe like 30 in a day. I would try to just do 20 every day, maybe a little bit more, just make sure that they were high quality.
Yeah, dude, when you put it that way, I think that's pretty achievable. We're talking like 10 hours total here of time investment to get your first client. And that's depending on how many hours a day you work, that's anywhere from 1 day to a few days of work. I think anyone can make that happen within a week or two. If you just set aside 1 hour a day, I think you could make that happen in 10 days.
Yeah.
That's gangster, man. And then, so from there, so you book the call, you jump in the call with them, you follow our closing scripts, close them, done deal, money in the bank. You
Yeah.
celebrating? How's that feel? That first paycheck?
Oh, I made a video and I posted it on Rumble and it's titled like breaking the matrix. And it's just like I broke the matrix or something like that, which like obviously I haven't broken any matrix, but it just just this unreal feeling. It feels like I like built like a Frankenstein, brought it to life because it feels like I created like money out of thin air. It was crazy, and especially with my bank account having been negative like 1,400 that morning. Like I remember that morning, I was like sitting on my bed right there, and I was looking at my bank account. I was like, the first thing I did, I was like stressed out, and I was just like, the only thing I can do now is like focus on the sales meeting I have today. And I literally just for the next 6 hours just studied your script, rewrote it, practiced it a few times, put in like the client's details in it, study the intake questions. And like I've even made a video beforehand of like me dancing like on Snapchat. And I was just like that feeling when you're about to land your first like client, like 3K client. I was just like, this is mine. Like before the meeting, I got on the meeting and I was just like, yeah, like this is how it usually works for this is why this is gonna work. I've seen this before, yada yada. I came in there, I was just like a pro, and they were just like, okay, sure. And then I got it, and like my brother was literally on FaceTime on mute the whole time because this turned out to be like an hour and a half call where we needed like a 10-minute break in between. And he's just listening to it. And then as soon as I finish the call, I like stand up and I'm like, whoo, motherfucker, fuck yeah. And I'm just like running around the house. Like I'm in my kitchen. I'm like making another video. I'm like, I just broke the matrix. Tell my haters, fuck you. Tell my lovers, I love you too. But like my haters, I also love you because you fuel me. Let's fucking go. Next step, fucking next client. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna fucking. It was crazy. And what's insane is when I got my second client, I like didn't even flinch. I was just like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just now it's just like normal now. Like when I get like another client and another deal, I'm like, for sure, let's put in the work. Actually, no, when I got this last deal I got, I was really excited. I was like, I was dancing, but that's a whole different story.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's funny like how quickly you become numb to it. Like every day, literally every day, I wake up and I've made minimum 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, sometimes 4,000 while I've slept for the last 8 hours.
Yeah.
And it's okay, that's
Cool.
like nothing.
Yeah.
If it's below 8 grand, I won't even get excited. I'll be like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
you know, the first ever sale I ever made online, this is like 7 years ago, and it was only $100. But I was like, I got off and I was like, dude, I just made money on the internet. Yeah, at the time, I was a minimum wage warehouse job, and it's I literally ran outside my house and I was like jumping around. I was like just ran through the park at 10 o'clock at night, just dancing.
Oh, yeah.
I'll remember that forever. You know what I mean? Like I'll be more excited about that $99 sale than any like 5K, 10K fine or whatever that I end up closing.
Yeah.
The first it's huge because it's when everything becomes real. Like it's a really big deal. And I try and really praise and preach to everyone, try and get that first paying client as quickly as possible. Because even if it's maybe a bit lower paying than what you want, don't lock yourself into a bad retainer deal. But if it's a one-off project or something, just try and get paid, because then that's when everything becomes real. Like it goes from this pie in the sky. Oh, I see all these other people in CMB making money. I've seen 500 fucking screenshots on your Instagram highlight reels. We now literally have 500 screenshots of booties, right? But it's until you see it and receive the money yourself into your bank account, you actually see it land. You're like, oh, wow. This is actually real. And then so many doors start to open, and it's like your mindset just gets unlocked. And it's amazing how quickly the second, third, fourth client come after that, as you've seen.
Yep. Yeah, man. It just shifts your whole reality. Like shifts a paradigm. You're like, oh, I never have to work a job again because I can scale this. Interesting.
Yeah, dude. It's the coolest feeling. Yeah. And so from there, did you leverage the first client to get any more clients, or was it just back to like rinse and repeating exactly the same thing that got you the first client?
Yeah, it was rinse and repeating. I was just like, I'm just going to do this again. And actually, the second client just came from following up to like the previous emails I had sent out before. I was like, oh, I haven't followed up on any of these emails. And so I just sent one follow up a couple days later, sent another follow up, and they came through. And I was like, okay, cool. It was like sick. I didn't even have to do that much more effort.
I sound like a broken record, man, but following up, it's the most underrated part of the client getting process. Like people go to these lengths to do this research, write a personalized email, great offer, write them sample emails, they'll do all the hard stuff. And it's 95% of the work. And they'll send it once and that's it. And they'll never follow up again.
Yeah.
And people have to realize like literally 80% of the money in sales is made in the follow-up, which means out of 5 clients, 4 of those clients will have needed to have been followed up with at some point in order for them to become clients. So you're getting literally a fifth of the clients you should be getting if you're not following up. And it just blows my mind how many people just don't take the time to do it. It's like they don't realize, and they don't want to come off as needy or whatever, but it's like, you're not being needy. Like business owners are just super busy. And it's like, maybe they saw the email, maybe they were interested, maybe they wanted to reply. And then the dog starts barking, or they have this fire they need to put out, or whatever. And it's like, your email's just not the most important thing in their world. Sorry to bring it to you. So you got to follow up, right? And yeah, dude, it's even for us. I've literally paused Facebook ads for the last 3 months, and we have done nothing but go back to the last 4 years of conversations with people that we've had about joining CMB, and followed up. And it said, hey, dude, I know it's been like a year or two. I was at the gym or whatever. You just popped into my head. We're launching a case study program next month. It's the most effective system we've ever had to get clients in 2023 using AI, blah, blah, blah. You want to hear more about it? And then people are like, yeah, that sounds cool. Because it's just a timing thing. Like cold outreach, a lot of the time, it's not necessarily they don't like you or it's a bad offer or whatever. It's just not a good time. They weren't looking for a copywriter at that point, or they weren't looking for help or whatever. But if you follow up at the right time, they're like, oh, actually, yeah, I'm glad you reached out because we were just looking for someone. Yeah, it's just it's a game of time. And so we've landed, I think, 20 or 30 new clients in the last 3 months just from doing that follow-up thing. That's an extra 100 and something grand just from following up with our existing leads. And I had to pause ads because we're getting fucking action blocked on Facebook. I can't send more messages on Messenger because we have too many conversations.
That's crazy.
Yeah, following up, dude, super underrated.
Yeah, follow up. One of the guys I'm working with, I partnered with Ananto. He like follows up like 18 times, and he gets so many appointments. He gets like 5 appointments a day. It's nuts. He's just, but like follow up game, like, and like just a few follow ups, and like, oh, here's some more value. Here's a personalized video. Here's this. Here's that. He has a whole spreadsheet of just everyone he's ever messaged, and then just like 18 different rows of like when he's followed up with them, and everyone's just like that we hop on the call with. They're just like, yeah, you're persistent. I had to give it to him. Persistent. They'll meet with you just for your persistence.
Dude, that's how I hired my graphic designer. Like this guy, I'm not saying to do this because the way he went about it was really fucking annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
But this was 5 years ago or something. And I think he'd been referred to me from a friend. My friend just casually mentioned, hey, Sean might be looking for someone. And I had no idea this was coming. And the dude just messaged me out of the blue. Hey, your friend Omar, he said you're looking for a new logo. And I was like, I'm not looking for a new logo. Like, sir, I do very good logo for you. Like, very good, very cheap, $50. Just PayPal me $50. I'll make a great logo. I was like, yeah, like maybe later, but it's not really that important right now. I'm not really looking. And he just kept going and going every day for 20 days or something. He just would not leave me alone. I was about to block the guy. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. $50, just go and make something. It was trash. I don't care. As long as this guy will stop annoying me now. Yeah, and he came back and the logo was actually really good. I was like, what else can you do? And so now he does all my design stuff. And I think I paid him 10, 15, 20 grand or something over the last few years, which in India is like quite a lot of money.
Yeah.
So following up, man, it's clutch.
And following up every day.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy who is that level of pestering and annoying. There's a right way and a wrong way to do following up. And the right way, of course, is being basically coming with new ideas, new angles. Yeah. So rather than just saying, hey, just following up, or I want to bumping this up, just making sure you got this. Hey, name, still there, still with me. You can do a few of those, right? That's fine. You can do a couple bumps because they might not have seen the message. But after that, it's like you need to come with something new to the table when you're following up. So if you tried this one angle of, hey, I'll get you out of the promo tab, for example, and you sent a couple bumps, they didn't reply. It's like, don't just keep fucking hammering home the same angle, the same nail that's just not meant for that hole or whatever. It's try a different approach, try a different angle. So maybe instead of we'll get you out of the promo tab because it'll help you make more sales, or maybe make them alert about the fact that they'll go to spam if they keep hitting promo. Try a different angle altogether. Maybe try something to do with their welcome email, or some ideas for their landing page, or something completely different. And if you just keep trying a bunch of different angles, or a new sample, a new rewrite of something, bringing more value to the table, eventually something's going to hit and they're going to be like, wow, okay, this guy's provided me a lot of value for free. He's a stranger, doesn't even know me. Seems to have a lot of great ideas. Yeah. Let's give him a shot. Let's see what he's about.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of it is just like, you just got to keep knocking. Sometimes the door doesn't open the first time you knock it, and seek and you shall find type thing. You just got to keep going. You got to turn over as many stones as possible and keep knocking on doors.
That's it. You could even try different platforms as well. So different offers, different platforms, different angles. So just to be
Absolutely.
like crystal clear, when for everyone watching, when we're saying following up, it doesn't mean knock at the door. If they don't answer, then just stand there and keep fucking knocking for 10 hours. Let's try the window, try the back door, try coming back tomorrow, try the fucking chimney, break the door down. You know what I mean? It's like maybe you don't break someone's door down, but it's just try something else rather than just the
Yeah.
same thing over and over again. But yeah, come back the next day and the next day and the next day. Eventually, you're going to get through it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
If you have a great offer, you have something that's actually going to help them. Why wouldn't they want to hear about it? If you have a great risk-free offer, you can help them make an extra 20 grand a month from their email list with very minimal risk, and it's win-win for everyone. Like, of course they're going to be interested. You're not spammy, you're not annoying. Like you're here to help them and make money in the process.
Yeah, I think that's the thing a lot of people miss is like anyone I've talked to that had like struggles with sales or with getting their offer, getting clients, it's like they're not communicating clearly how they help this person. They're not communicating clearly the value that they bring. It's more so just some generic thing, and you're just like, what are you actually like saying in this? And so I think that's a lot of it too, is like if what you're saying just doesn't really make sense or doesn't resonate, then you just need to improve that too.
Yeah. Clarity is super important. It's like the two sins of marketing. It's like one being boring and two being confusing. If I don't know what you sell, I'm not really clear what you're asking me here. I'm just going to ignore the email. And likewise, if it's boring as batshit and you're claiming to be a copywriter who can write entertaining and engaging emails that make sales, yet your cold email to me puts me to sleep, dude, I'm not really a lot of credibility there. I'm not really going to take you seriously. So it's like show, don't tell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Dude, that's really cool. We could keep chatting all day about this stuff. It's really interesting. I'm just curious to hear where you're at now and what's next. What's coming up? What's on the horizon?
Whew, how much time do we have? Everything is next.
So after the first two clients, walk us through what's happened since now and then.
Okay. So
how those came about.
Yeah, so after the first two clients, life changed a bit because I had a interview with TRW, and a lot of people started like coming up to me, as well as from like CMB. I think they just saw my like grind set, and they all just want to start learning from me, want to start being a part of it. And so one way or another, started a small community of members on like a Discord, like a sort of brotherhood. From there, started making like some partnerships with some people. One of those being my good partner, Ananto. So we started partnering together 50-50. He sets the meetings, I close them. And in the next week after the 8K client, I actually ended up closing about 5 more for different related things that were pretty much just commission sales, appointment setting, things like this. Like I shouldn't do this. Like in retrospect, now I'm looking about it like another week later. So what happened was I met with a guy like, oh, we need appointment setters. And like me and Ananta, we were just like, oh, well, we don't say no to money. Like we just keep getting money. And so like, okay, took on some people probably shouldn't take on, closed some things. We had some more meetings, like people who like just wanted email marketing and stuff like that. And we're learning a lot. We ended up starting our own appointment setting agency, essentially, where we got a bunch of appointment setters into another Discord, started trying to train them. And then we met with this other guy who essentially, he wanted appointment setters. And I asked him this question. I was like, okay, like, what's your perfect deal? If appointment setter agency walks through the door, what's the perfect deal? And he's like, oh, perfect deal is I was making 2 million a month. Like last year, my partnership screwed me. Now I'm making 20K a month. My first month, I have 100 appointment setters. Yeah. I have 100 appointment setters that pretty much they're in my DMs. They want to set appointments for me and I don't know what to do with them. I just want my time back. Alex, if you can just manage these 100 appointment setters and if you just grow that and set appointments for me, I'll give you 50% of the revenue you bring in. 50. And so I was like, 50. Yeah. Goodness gracious. And he's planning on doing 100K next month. And so I was like, oh, okay, you're planning to do 100K a month. That's nothing. I'm planning to do 100K a month. We're going to get you to 200K a month by March 15th, sir. And he's just, if you do that, like I'll literally buy you something amazing. I was like, no, we're going to do that, period. And I didn't sleep for 41 hours. I set up an entire Discord community. I set it up with tiered levels, with reward systems, with bonus points if you get a meeting, this, that. I set up a whole teaching and training program. Well, Ananto set up the teaching and training program because he's in G setting appointments. But I pretty much just organized it. I organized it, set it up, got everything running really smoothly. Ananto is making the training programs. We got everything on Teachable. So within 41 hours, I also hired a VA to get appointment setters in, posting on Facebook groups and stuff like that. And I did that myself as well. Ananto did that himself as well. So within 41 hours, we had 80 people in the Discord who are becoming trained as appointment setters. And today we've set 5 appointments. And yesterday we set 2 appointments. And each one of these appointments has the potential of bringing me in the commission of $3,000.
The program is like 6K, something like that.
Yeah. So we're at 80 right now. And I'm planning to get to 1,000 by the 30th. And then we want 1,000 appointment setters, setting 1,000 meetings a day, at least 40% of those closing. That's the rate. Now we just have to figure out how to get some closers in there as well, because my man is not going to be able to keep up, because I'm a beast. And so that's what I've been focusing on. And then since I've done that, I was like, okay, I don't care about 6K coming in recurring, or these like 5K straight up payment client, but I also care because I made them a promise. So dear CMB, I am hiring people. I will go 50-50 with you, and you can take on all my client work. Hit me up. I went through 12 different interviews, maybe 8 interviews with CMB people over today and yesterday. And I brought on 3 amazing people. And so they're right now, as we speak, they're figuring out all the details of how we're going to take care of these clients. They're going to get 50-50. They're going to help me service them, help me scale now what's pretty much going to turn into a little marketing agency or copywriting agency. Once I know that they can take care of those clients, I'm going to turn on some appointment setters, do the same thing I did for this guy, make a little training program, make a little script, get some appointment setters in there, motivate them financially, turn those guys on, close those guys, bring in more people from CMB or the surrounding area on that 50-50 revenue share model. They're invested, I'm invested. If they do more, I'll take off my percentage. And so I got a lot of coals in the fire. Besides that, I'm also doing this Discord thing. I'm scaling this Discord thing into, hey, let's make a case study that these people that have joined my brotherhood now can make 10K a month. So I'm scaling that into, okay, let's get a goal of 10K a month. Let's make training programs for you guys as well to do exactly what I did with everything surrounding. Once you guys get up there, that'll be a case study. Then people will have to pay to join into this thing. And it'll be like a mini war room. And then the digital products, scaling those, everyone else scale their digital products, marketing digital products. But first, obviously, getting results for this guy, building case studies here, building case studies there, and then digital products for everything. So that's my plan to get to 100K a month. And I honestly think I'm going to smash it. No, I'm going to smash it.
Seems pretty realistic after you're breaking it down. Dude, I freaking love that, man. Like the amount of people in your exact position that would have gone and hit that 11K a month ceiling, because that typically is where most freelancers start to get capped on time. It's about the 12K a month mark, where they can't take on more clients without working all the time. And so at that point, it's like you either have to accept this is my income level, or if you want to keep scaling, at that point, you really have 2 main ascension paths, right? Start an agency, or you become an offer owner, or you just become so damn good that I call it the mastery path, where you basically just charge extremely high prices because you're really good, right? And so one of those ascension paths is what you're going to have to choose. And you just went fucking straight in and head first to the agency model, where you're like, I'm just going to keep signing clients like a monster above my capacity to deliver. I'm just going to figure this shit out as I go. I'm going to hire people as I go. The most important thing is I'm this snowball that's rolling down this mountain, and I'm not going to stop rolling. And I'm just going to keep up, like gathering momentum, gathering speed, getting bigger and bigger, and literally just figuring out, like sucking people into my vortex as I go, basically. And hiring the necessary people, getting them to deliver. It's a great deal for them because they get a free client. It's a great deal for you because they do all the work. That's the thing, man. If you can just become a gun at signing clients, you don't have to deliver. That's the whole agency model. You just have to get really good at signing clients at a high rate so you can have margin enough to attract top talent so they can deliver, and then you still have a healthy profit left over. And if you can get really good at that, you can literally make unlimited money.
Exactly.
You've cracked the code, my friend, very early on, which, yeah, it's very impressive. One final thing, like that whale of a client, how did that come about? Was that someone you were already working with? Like the guy who was doing 2 million a month before? Was that from a
No, and Nanto has his own little secret sauce that I don't think I'm at liberty to share here. Okay. And that he will end up marketing it as a digital product, but essentially he reaches out to people through a method where he finds out that they're essentially promoting something. And then he reaches out to them. He says, hey, watch this. And I just had a couple suggestions on this to increase your sales and conversion by 20 to 40%. Let me know, and I'll send a video over. And he waits for them to respond, follows up a couple times. They don't respond. They do respond. He sends a Loom video, whatever. And then they end up responding, following up, persistence. Funny enough, this guy said the only reason he took the meeting and the only reason he responded was because Ananta was so persistent and his follow-up was so interesting that he just wanted to learn from him to see
Yeah.
how he would interact with him once he did respond. And I was like, that's so good. That's so good. And then he was just impressed by me when I was on the call because this guy actually just offers a closing service. And he's just, you're a really good closer. You're getting me to talk a lot. And I teach this stuff, so I know what I'm doing. You're getting me to talk a lot. You're asking really good questions. I was just like, I don't know what to say. This is what I do. He sets appointments, I close. It's really funny. And then that's from there, it was just instant connection. He's like, you seem like a savage. You seem like a beast. He asked me if I was on drugs. He said, what do you take? I'm like, dude, I don't take anything. I have a good relationship with God and I eat meat every day.
I don't know. Coke. What's your secret?
Yeah, he was like, I do Adderall. And I was like, oh, okay. Interesting. Doesn't that have it come down? He's like, I handle it. It was funny. It was funny. It was crazy. That's how it came about. So we took the meeting essentially thinking that we were just gonna set him up with some appointment setters. And it was crazy because I actually had 5 back-to-back that day. That day was like a sales day. All three or four of those meetings just like tanked. I mean, like terrible clients, terrible prospects. Like we still signed them for some dumb reason. Like we're just like, okay, 25% commission, no upfront charge, nothing like that. And then this guy came around and we were just like, okay, this is why you just keep going. This is why you just end one meeting, go straight to the next, like brand new energy, brand new everything. Like, so yeah, that's how that came about.
Fuck those other 4 people off. And
I literally told him, I sent him a voice message. I'm like, hey, something like extremely lucrative came up. And so we're going to be like really slow to reaching back to you and this and that. And we might end up just canceling. It's embarrassing, but money, come on.
When you're moving at that speed, there's going to be a couple of broken dishes.
Perfect analogy.
Yeah, 100%. Wow. Yeah, dude, that was fucking full of value. That's crazy. Yeah, and I'm assuming what you were saying with the Nonto, obviously you don't want to reveal it. That's fine. But definitely a great strategy in terms of looking out for people who are running Facebook ads, who have things that they're promoting in their Instagram bio, in their email list. Just keep an eye out for what are people selling? What are they promoting? And use that as an angle, as an in. You basically reach out and you say, hey, I know you're promoting this thing. I found a way that you could probably get a few more conversions, squeeze more conversions out of the sales page. I see you running Facebook ads to cold traffic. Here are some practices that worked really well for my clients in the past. I'm confident if you implement them, you'll probably make an extra 20%.
Boom.
Is that worth a conversation? Great. Yeah, really great approach.
Yep.
Killer. Dude, this was so good. That was everything I dreamed of and more. It was beautiful. I love to hear it. Yeah, basically been going for an hour. It's a good time to wrap it up. Is there anything else you wanted to say or share? Any value, wisdom you wanted to impart to our viewers here?
Yeah, I think if you're watching this at home and you are where I was at when I was watching this at home, I would just urge you to just keep going. Just keep going, keep at it. Like eventually the universe has to give up. If you just keep on grinding and keep on finding a way and keep on finding a way and keep on finding a way, like I tell everyone that like I mentor, I'm like, look, like if you just outwork every other person next to you, you will get it. Like eventually, like something will cave, something will break. Like you just gotta keep smashing at what you want to do. Be a savage, be relentless. Take all the trauma or all the challenges or everything you've ever been through, everything everyone's ever said to you that's made you feel like crap, and just take that and be like, yeah, fuck that. I'm gonna fucking get this. Because that's where your unlimited potential, your unlimited power comes from. Just being like, I'm a beast. Just claim it. Just decide what you're going to be and then go be it.
And we're only here once, so why not be something big, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you control who you are, right? You're talking, you're watching this. So control it.
100%. Dude, what I love about you the most is you just made a decision to play at a high level and you just went out and did it. You just made that decision. That's all it is. Simple decision.
Why not?
And you never look.
Yeah, I mean, you just tell everyone that you're going to be the shit, and then you're like, oh shit, now I have to be the shit. Like, I'm making sure I deliver on this big ass promise. I can't let Sean down. I told him I'd be his most successful student. Now let me see how I can 5x that.
That's the thing. It's like you better back it up with massive action, or you're just a clown.
Yeah, exactly. Can't be a clown. So like when you put your honor on the line, that's the other thing is you have to use like I am statements, and I'm going to. Now I want, like, no one cares about what you want. Are you going to, or are you going to not? Like, so just back it up. You'd be like, I am going to do this. And then your brain will just think about ways for you to do that. You'll be like, oh, that's how I'm going to do it. Okay, let me like work at this for 20 hours, 30 hours, 40 hours. But like, take a break if you need it. Don't kill yourself.
It's not advisable. Holding yourself socially accountable, publicly accountable is one of the absolute best ways that you can basically guarantee progress and success. And it's a big driver behind like the 37 hard and why people have these massive breakthroughs when we do the 37 hard every year. Is because they've basically committed to these goals in public in front of 30-something other people. And we look like a bit of an idiot if you don't do what you said you're going to do. Whether the carrot or the stick motivates you, we got to do what we got to do, but you got to find a way to get that.
Exactly. Exactly. And shout out Kyle Klimchuk for motivating me to do the 37-day challenge myself, even though it had already started. And even though I failed it, I only failed it because I was working 41 hours and then signed something else massive. So I was like, forget that. Like, I'd rather do this. But yeah, I think I'd be on like day 20 by now. But I think I'm where I want to be now that it's served its purpose. Like, I did it every day. I also did another daily checklist every day. So shout out to that. Shout out to you for inventing that, because that lit a fire under my ass.
100%. That's all it is, man. It's just building the right habits, doing it consistently every day. And I think you're a great testament to that.
Yeah. 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 100%. Shout out you.
I'm so if people want to find you, if they want to reach out to you, where can they do that?
Oh, yes. All right. So Instagram, Alexander Sucala, SUCALA.me. Facebook, Alex Sucala. Rumble, Alexander Sucala. And Twitter, day number whatever of at Cobra Tate until he recruits me. Also at Alex Sucala here. So,
killer, man. Yeah, you guys can go follow Alex before he has millions of followers and he's the next Tony Robbins. Get in early. You want to hit the OGs? Because yeah, no doubt you'll be hearing this guy's name again. This man is going places. I know what a dude on a rocket ship looks like, and you're looking at him right here.
Yeah, so, man.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to come back and do one of these 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and we get to, in a real time, basically preserve these little moments of history to look back on. And I think it'd be really exciting.
Yeah.
We're doing this in 12 months. Oh, dude, remember when you were only doing 100K a month? That was so cute.
Now do that a day. Come on.
I look forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. I look forward to it too. Maybe we'll be in person one day too. Go on a yacht or something.
No doubt. Very cool. Dude, appreciate you heaps once again for coming on, and I hope this is valuable for everyone watching.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for having me, Sean. Peace.
You got it. Just gonna stop recording.